So good morning, all of you. So good morning, all of you. My voice is audible?
Yeah, good morning. Your voice is clear.
Yeah, thank you. So first of all, just I will revise the last day session in 5 minutes. Okay. So last day we discussed about the full stack application and the layers of the full stack application. So in the full stack application, which is by using .NET, just a minute. Yeah, please be online, all of you. So good morning, all of you. So welcome back. So good morning, all of you. So welcome back to the second day session of EF.core. Now, so 5 minutes. I will take 5 minutes time to revise the last day topic. Okay. By using .NET, we are going to develop a full stack application. So the full stack application is designed like this. See here, front end and back end. Front end means any HTTP client can be called as front end, like React application or ASP.NET MVC application or any web application developed by using Java or PHP or any program which is able to communicate with the backend in the form of by using HTTP protocol. So even a HTML page also can be called as a HTML client. So right, React application or Angular application or ASP.NET MVC or any mobile application like Android or iPhone applications, any Windows application, right? It is called front end. Now it communicates with the backend REST web API, which is created by using ASP.NET web API core. Now this web API layer communicates with the data access layer. This data access layer is designed by using EF.core with C# language. And to make this data access layer reusable, okay, you need to use another library called, another library called class library. Okay, so that what happens, you can make it as a DLL file so that this data access layer is made reusable among the multiple among the multiple layers. Next, now this data access layer connects with the backend RDBMS packages. Even non-RDBMS also okay, no problem. Here, in a project, you may use SQL Server, or you may use MySQL, or you may use Oracle. In that way, different RDBMSs you can use. Now, here in the data access layer, while writing the data access layer, okay, the EF.core improves our productivity. That is, what is the major role of EF.core library? It improves the productivity while generating the data access layer. Means simply say data access layer is generated by EF.core automatically sometimes. Okay, in some cases. Now, here the data access layer generator is by EF.core. Right. Now, what are the basic functionalities inside the data access layer? Right. They are, I explained the data access layer functionalities, creation of the creation of a class, this one, generation of a data access layer, right? Now creation of a database logic, right? In that creation of tables which are equal to, so creation of tables as equal to the classes, or creation of classes as equal to the tables, both are same, remember that. Okay, so create classes, for that classes tables need to be created. While creating that tables, okay, you need to be aware about schema and validations and all, right? Next, after that, mapping need to be performed. Next, after that, you need to write the database logic. So, so finally, here is here. Creation of model classes as equal to the tables. Next, configuring the model classes. Configuring the model class includes two types of logics, schema and validations. And see, to perform this configuration, you need to learn two libraries named as data annotations and Fluent API. And sometimes, if you not performed any configuration, then it follows EF conventions, right? Next, after that, mapping need to be performed. Again, that is also performed by using data annotations and Fluent API concept. Next, you need to develop the database logic. So to consume the database logic, you need to have knowledge about link queue and lambda expressions and collections, these three chapters. So when you know, along with the EF.core, when you know data annotations, Fluent API, knowledge about the EF conventions, next collections, link queue and lambda expressions, then you can develop a perfect data access layer. These are the requirements of data access layer. Okay. Now, present coming to the example in the EF. Now, our example is related to the code first approach. In that, the first step is create a class. Because in this example, we need to prove without touching the database, means without using the SQL. You need to perform everything by using C#. So create a class, next configure the class, and after that create table by using that configured class. That is called migration. Now the first step is take a console application and create the class and configure the class. Right? How to do that? Open Visual Studio. File, new, project. Select console application. See, above the C#, all platforms, console. Select a template which supports Linux, Mac, and Windows. This one. Click next. Provide the project name. Select the location. And if you observe here, project name and solution name both are same. Okay, you no need to change this. Just the project name, whatever you enter, it becomes the solution name also, right? And in the selected folder, the project is created. Click the next button. Now this is the key point while you are developing the application. Which framework, using which framework you are going to develop? .NET 6, 7, and 8. There is no .NET 4.8 and there is no any other versions. Okay, the standard versions 6, 7, and 8. It is a long-term support, LTS. It is STS, standard term support and long-term support. .NET 6 or .NET 8 we are going to use right now. Okay, first we start with .NET 6. Click the create button. Now, so in the main, delete this line. It is not required. Now coming to the first step, take a console application. It is completed. Second step, create a class. Right. So now, view, solution explorer. Okay. Here it is a console application. Okay, I'm not taking any MVC application or web API because I want to deal with EF independently. Right. Now, right click on the project name, add new folder, and give the folder name as models. Right. Because if you see this diagram, see this is the class model. See this layer. Okay, it is called component layer or it is called component class. Right. A class which represents the real world entity. Remember that. Or it represents the table. Both are same. Okay. So now come back, right click on the models, add again new item, select class. Now I want to use a class called category. Okay, right. Now, so what is this category? Why I selected this one? Because you are all know about the big basket or Amazon. In that, all the products are divided into categories. So, if you want to deal with products, first you need to create category. Without creating the category, okay, working with product is not possible, right? Suppose if you want to search for a product also, first you are going to select a category. In that category, you searches for product. So now first I want to create a table called category, but I am creating category class. Now create the normal variables here, public. Okay, what is the purpose of these variables? Okay, they are used to store the data related to the category, and these are used to provide, they are used to map with the columns of the table. So whatever the properties you create here, they becomes the columns, okay, of the table. So class name becomes table name, property becomes column, property name becomes column name, property type becomes column type, and whatever the settings you applies on the property, they are applied on the columns of the backend table. Remember that. So category ID with set and get, and category name, and here description. So three properties I created, okay, without any configuration. Okay, here I'm going to show you two examples. One is purely based on EF conventions, single table. Okay, next configuration, third one multiple tables. Okay, so first class category. It is as simple as just like creating a class in the basic level of C#. Okay, just you don't know anything about the configuration, just class category and ID, name and description. And here some warnings are also there. See this here. Non-nullable property name must contain a non-null value. We are going to solve that one in the next example. First, take it as it is, without any configuration. Okay, so see this one. Third step, configure a class. But I'm not going to configure the class. Okay, because here EF conventions is there. So you should be aware about EF conventions. When you not configure the class, okay, how the table is created, you should know. Remember that. Okay. Now this is class. Class is mapped with the backend table. Okay, fine. Now we need a primary key. See, if you want to work with EF.core, the most fundamental key is in every entity, in every table, the primary key is required. So that in the class category, see, you need to make one property as a primary key. Without primary key, it never works. Remember that. It is the most important key point. If primary key is not there, okay, EF.core never works. Okay, so ID is a primary key. You need to make this ID as a primary key, because every category is identified by a unique value. Okay, so how to make this ID as a primary key? Now, last day, see here, EF conventions. Right now, so what is this EF conventions? When you do not specify it, when you not configured the class explicitly, then the EF.core automatically assumes. So it assumes ID as a primary key by default. How? If any class is with what is the EF convention for primary key? In the class, any property with the name ID or class name plus ID. This is the important point. Now I am using just ID. Okay, first rule is satisfied. In this class, one property is there, okay, whose name is equal to ID. So that's why it is ID is treated as a primary key automatically. For the remaining properties, I'm not specified any configuration. Okay, now I want to create a table called category for this class. Okay, in the SQL server. How? Right, without any configuration. Okay, you need to observe. Let us see. Open the SQL server. You can use SQL Server 2014 or 2019 Community Edition. They are free. Okay. Now my server name is this one, and two types of authentications. You can provide user ID and password, and without user ID and password also you can connect. So first click on connect here. Databases. Okay. Now, so here I want to create a database and a table also. How? First of all, go back. What is the next step? Based on the RDBMS, okay, download the providers. That is. So what type of database you are using? If you are using Oracle, or if you are using MySQL, or if you are using SQL Server, based on that you need to select the providers. Okay. Now, how to download? Go to the tools, NuGet Package Manager, and manage NuGet packages for solution. So select this, and here different tabs are there. Select browse. See this. In the EF.core, everything starts with Microsoft. Remember, all the library starts with Microsoft. So Microsoft.entityframework.core.sql server, because here we are using SQL server. So Microsoft.entityframework.core.sql server. Select this, but very careful about the selection. Microsoft.entityframework.core.sql server. Select this, and please observe this here. Tick mark is there. Round circle with tick mark means it is verified. Okay. Now, and observe very carefully. We are using .NET 6. Okay. We are using .NET 6. Now you need to select the package also which is suitable for .NET 6. Now how to know that? You selected Microsoft Entity Framework Core.sql server here. On right side, see this here. Installed? No, not installed. Version latest stable 8.0.3. Okay, if you click the down arrow here, from 6.0.0 to the latest 8.0.3 is available. Okay, this is the beauty of NuGet Package Manager. You can get any version, okay, which is available on the internet, okay, without any struggle. Simple. Just type the name and search, select the appropriate one and find the relevant version which is required for you. Now, which version we need to use, 8 or 7 or 6? How to know that? Let us see. Now, go down. See this here. The current one, latest stable 8.0.3. At the bottom here, see, dependencies, .NET 8. So, if you are going to download this latest stable 8.0.3, okay, its dependency is .NET 8, but our project is .NET 6. Okay, so you need to change this. See this one. First, select the project here, and see, once you selected the project, again the version changes. So please be aware about this flow. Select the checkboxes here, because into this project I want to download this Microsoft Entity Framework Core.sql server. Now next, here select 7.0.17 and check that whether that is compatible with .NET 6 or not. Yes. In the dependencies now it is showing .NET 6. So .NET 8 is also there. Okay, .NET 8 is with relevant advanced topics. Okay, if the time permits, I will show you both. Don't worry. Okay, now click on install. Now, these are all going to be installed. Right, finish it. Right, no errors. Now the second one, Microsoft.Entity Framework Core.tools. These two. So Microsoft.Entity Framework Core.sql server, Microsoft.Entity Framework Core.tools. These two you need to download. Now, see this one, Microsoft.Entity Framework Core.tools. Now again, same. latest table 8.0.3, but it is suitable for .NET 8 only. So that select 7.0.17 here. Now click install. Okay, apply. It is going to install two libraries here, tools under design. Finish it. Right. So close this and go to view solution explorer and expand the dependencies here and packages and identify the libraries which you have downloaded. See this one, Microsoft Entity Framework core.sql server 7.0.17. So please confirm and see here, you need to check the exact versions are downloaded or not. That is very important. Okay, because our project is see .NET 6. Okay, see this here, .NET 6. So these libraries also should match with this version. Okay, right. Okay, right. Now you downloaded the libraries, okay, which are required to communicate with the database. Fine. What is next step? What is the next step? Next step is you need to create a context class using which you are going to maintain the connection information and collections and mapping information and everything that is. So see this here, configuration, mapping, database logic. Who provides all these things? Okay. So now next step is create a context class, okay, which maintains connection information, which maintains collections, and finally it provides the database logic. See, these are all abstractively, okay, I'm explaining, but technically it internally may almost, it carries almost around 15 functionalities in a context class, okay, technically, right? So now let us create a context class. How to create? View to Solution Explorer, right click on the project, add new folder, create a folder named as DAL, Data Access Layer. Okay, because models consumed independently, remember that. Okay, they should not be a part of any project, remember that. Okay, they should be independently need to be designed, right? But anyway, now DAL, right click on this folder, add new item, class. So now provide one appropriate class name here. So online mark context. So I am giving my context class name as a online mark context. So click on this online mark context. Now here you need to make this class as a child to DB context. Okay, but right now it is showing error. Why? Because DB context class is not available here. It is available from Entity Framework core library. So instead of typing, just put the mouse pointer here and click the down arrow using Microsoft.Entity Framework core. Select that. It is clear. Now what next? Now you need to create a constructor. Okay, public online mark context. Right. Right now, I'm not going to write any logic here. Okay, this example is with minimum logic. Okay, it is minimum logic, right? I'm not going to do any external things here. So just online constructor, What next? Right. Two important points. One is how this data accessor is going to connect with the database. That's the first point. Second point, how a model class is mapped with a table. Okay, I mean how a model class is used to create a table. Okay, and where are the settings and all. Now here it is protected. Let us type override. See that protected space override. The DB context parent class going to provide three different methods. Now in that configure conventions model. Okay, don't touch that. These two first. Okay, on configuring this is. So this method is important to provide connection string here. Okay, this is. So protected override void on configuring, which is with the input parameter of type DB context options builder. Okay, right. Next one more method, protected override and on model creating. This is another one. So these two are important for us. But right now, we are not going to use this context class completely. Minimum code first with minimum code we are going to go. Okay. Now, how this context class going to connect with the database, right? Now here, see this one. On configuring, the input parameter name is options builder. Now, see this. Options builder dot use SQL server. That is, by using this method, we are going to provide the connection information of the SQL server. What is that connection information? Just open this SQL server and try to connect. Okay, nothing new here. Manually, what type of information is required to connect with the database? Same information need to be provided in the application also. So, what is the name of your SQL server? This is. So, copy this. So, use SQL server. Which SQL server? Server equal to, this is the name of the server. Okay. Next. After that, what type of connection you are going to use? Are you going to provide user ID and password, or you want to connect without user ID and password? Without user ID and password is called Windows connection. Okay, with user ID and password is called SQL connection. Okay. So now I want to go with the SQL connection. You can use SQL connection or you can use Windows connection. So Windows based connection means Windows based authentication. It is called SQL authentication and Windows based authentication. So without user ID and password, because we want to make it as simple. So trusted underscore connection equal to yes, that is semicolon. So you no need to provide the user ID and password for this. Next one, where are your tables? You need to provide once you connected, tables are inside the databases. Okay. So are you created any database for your project? That is important point. Okay. Now, even I am not going to use any existing database. So that's why database equal to, here you need to provide a database name. Okay. You can provide any existing database name here, or you can provide any new name. Okay. Suppose okay. Now my database name is 15th demo. Okay. Right. Uh, right. So my database name is EF.core. Okay. Right. So let us check any database with that name. See the order here. D. No, there is no any database with the name EFCF1. Okay, that is so. Right now, next, what is another parameter required? Generally, the server name, user ID and password, okay, database name, all are available in the manual process also. Because just by seeing this name, by seeing this window, okay, you can get the server name, okay, and you can get the user ID and password, and by seeing here, you can get the database name also, right? So here you can provide the connection string very easily, right? Because these are all available manually also, right? But there is one more setting is required. I will show you. Right. So one more option we need to provide. That is a trusted certificate equal to true. So here, just save this. Okay. I'm not going to add any more. Next, one more is required. That is one. Let us see here. In our mapping, yes, here. See here, to represent the backend table rows, in the front end, we need a collection of objects. This one is rows. For rows equal to the rows, okay, collection of objects is required. Where we are going to create this? Now, after in the DB context class, public DB set, and which data you want to maintain? Category. Okay. Yes, you can build multiple projects because in Visual Studio, it is a solution. It is not a single project. Okay. I will show you simply. See this here. If you right click on the solution, what is the option you are getting here? New project. Add new project. Means a solution is a collection of projects. You can add a project here. Remember. Yes. So now currently one solution with one project. Now category, categories, and to these categories, I can add and I can get the data from it. Okay, I can add data here and I can get the data from this. This is collection of objects. For your better understanding, okay, see this one. This is the table rows are represented as a collection of objects. Okay, that collection of objects concept is implemented by this one DB set object. This is okay. So now just build it first to check any syntactical errors are there or not. Okay. Right. Just only two warnings are there here. The two warnings are we need the two warnings. Why? I will tell you. It is succeeded, zero failed, and zero up to date, zero skipped. Right. So now model class is ready, and the context class is also ready. Right. Okay. Now how to create the tables? Next one. Migration. That is. Now, how to perform this? Tools, you get package manager console. Okay. Now, at this console, use a statement called add hyphen migration. Okay, paste. Now, what type of process you are expecting right now? I want to create a table for the given classes. Okay. Now in my project, I have some classes. Okay. In this example, I have only one class. But in the real time, what happens? As per your requirement, you create multiple classes. Okay. So first, this is the first step we are doing. Okay. So add hyphen migration. Okay. The first step. This is you need to name that process. Okay. So add hyphen migration. I am giving a name to this process. That is the first step. Okay. Now let us add. See that build started. Right. Now what happened? It creates a C# code for you. Remember this. What is our requirement? For our class, table need to be created. Okay. Without using SQL. But how it happens? Let us see here. First, what happened? Observe in the Solution Explorer. Go to the view, Solution Explorer. It added one folder named as migrations. Okay, if you expand this folder, here you are going to see one C# file with the given name at the add migration command. See this one. C#, some ID value is here, underscore first step dot CS. Now just open that one. Right. Now that C# code dot CS. Just observe the code. Okay. This partial class with the given name, it created a class first step, which is child to migration superclass. Now in that, don't worry about all this code, but just observe this line. What is the function here? Create table, right? What is the table name? Categories. That is the point. It is a total C# code and columns, table, new, ID, name, description, and constraints. What is the primary key here? ID. That is. So a C# code is generated which tells about the structure of the table which is going to be created. That is. And which contains a logic to create a table, which contains schema related to the table, and which contains a code to create the table, both. That is. So now here see. This is the logic. Now this code need to be executed. If the C# code is executed, then automatically what happens? The backend table is created, right? Now in this category class, there is no any external configuration here. Okay. Now you need to execute this C# code, this method, this create table need to be executed. Okay, how? Now again, go back, tools, you get package manager console. Here, update hyphen database. Right. So here, please observe carefully. One, see here, a keyword not supported. I told you some information is not available. Okay, manually. When you connect it to the database, okay, by using Management Studio, server name is available, username, password, these are all available. But here, as you are using EF.core, and observe this at the bottom, keyword not supported. Okay, what is that? Go to the context class, and here use SQL Server. At this, see this here, trusted certificate. So this is a not a normal keyword. Okay, I mean that this information is about related to the security. Okay, right. So now whatever the keyword we used, see this trusted certificate equal to true. It is not supported. Okay. Now let us save. See that. Again, this command is also. So this is the most important point. You need to check about the. I mean, all the information is available. Okay, in a normal way. But when you are using the backend library, okay, depending upon that library, you need to check some details. Okay. So here, trust certificate. This keyword is also. Yes. See, this keyword is also not supported. So now, what is the exact keyword we need? So these are the different types of errors which may come, okay, when you are dealing with the logic, okay. So, but that is not related to the regular programming, okay. It is related to the security, okay. So now,
Trust server certificate. Is that the one?
just a minute, just a minute. Okay, yes, just, yeah, right. Let's save this. Tools. Right. So now you should be aware about this connection string, and here see this. This is the additional keyword which is related to the SSL layer. Okay. So by default, we will discuss about this concept in the next coming sessions. So trusted server certificate equal to true. Then the code is executed. Okay, which code? See this. Here, the migration code which is generated here, this code. Okay. Now, observations are very important right now. What are they? In this category class, what are the property names and what are the column name? What is the column name? First observe this carefully. What is the table? What is the class name here? Category, right? ID, name, and description. Now, with this configuration, which type of table is created? Okay, and what is its nature? Let us observe. So, with the minimum configuration, we are working. Connect, database, and see this. EFCF1, expand it, tables, categories. S is added here. First observation. My class name is here, category. Okay. But in the table, if you observe here, categories, S is added. This is one convention. Okay. For the class name, okay, class name is equal to table name, but not as it is. Class name is category, table name is categories. So sometimes when you are writing the code, you need to override the EF conventions. I want my table name as it is, like class name. So then you need to learn one more command. So every requirement leads to learning of something. That's the point. That's why I started with minimum coding. Okay. Next. So this is one point. First you need to learn. I want my table name and class name both are to be same. Okay. So how to give that instruction? By default, the convention adding S to the class name while creating the table name. Okay. So next, after that, what is the another convention? ID. It is a primary property. It is primary key. Now, how the primary key is created? Right click on the categories, design. Observe this here. ID, name, and description. ID, name, description as it is. Right. Now observe these conventions. C# data type is integer. ID, column name as it is. Now here the data type is int. So for C# integer, SQL Server is also integer. Okay, right. Now next one, name. It is a string. C# data type is a string. When the C# data type is string, for that property, what is the column data type? Nvar of max. Okay, right. But here, see, for string C# data type, nvar of max is selected. And all these columns, see this here, yellow nulls. Okay, these are all unchecked, right? Means they never allows the nulls. They never allows the nulls. And I mean for all these columns, data is mandatory. So name, ID, description as it is. ID, name, description as it is as columns here, right? Next, what is the other observation we need? ID, primary key. Okay. Now go to the properties here. Identity specification is identity S, that is, and identity increment 1 and seed value is 1. So what does it mean? For this primary key ID, okay, column, okay, SQL Server provides the data. Okay, you need to provide only name and description only. Okay, ID column values are provided for ID column values are provided by SQL Server. So by default, primary key is made as identity column. That is again a EF convention. So three EF conventions we found. What are they? For the class category, okay, the table name is categories, class name plus S. That is first one. Next, for integer, int. For string, nvar of max. And all the columns are by default here not null. Okay, yellow nulls is unchecked. It means they are not null. Next, property names and column names are same as it is, right? And primary key is made as identity column here. The starting value is 1 and the seed value is 1 starting and incremented by 1. It means you need to provide only name and description only. ID value is provided automatically. How to know that? Okay, how to know that? Right click here, go to edit. Now see, this ID is disabled here. Observe this carefully. Now press the tab. One is came automatically, right? So it means who is providing the value for ID? SQL Server. Suppose add the second one. Who is provided automatically. So it means primary key is made as identity column, okay, automatically, which starts with its value 1. That is. So these are the basic conventions, okay, automatically selected by the EF when you not configured. Okay, right. So now let us delete this one from this database. Okay, I want to delete this EFCF1. Delete. Right. Now from the Solution Explorer also create this, delete this migration. We will go with second example. Right. Okay. Just build it once to find the errors. No errors. Okay. Now let us make small modification to the class. I want my table name same as class name. Okay, my class name is category. My table name also I want a category. How? Data annotations and Fluent API we need to use. Among that, right now I am going to use data annotations. Same thing you can do by using Fluent API also. But Fluent API a little bit complex to understand right now. But I will show you, don't worry, one by one first. With a simple table. Okay, right. Table attribute, it is a class. Okay, but you no need to write the total complete name. Just table, string name. Okay, category. That's okay. So you are specifying for this class the table name is category. That is the point. Simple logic. For this class, the table name is
So it will be categories or category only?
yeah,
Categories or category?
category. That is because categories is already taken by EF convention, right? Now we want to override it. I want my own name. Okay. I don't allow the EF to use follow the conventions. Okay. So by using data annotations, okay, I want my table name to be as a category only, not as categories. Okay. That is next. What is this name? It is name, right? Column is also created as name. Now I want to change my class name. Sorry, I want to change my property name. Okay. The property name is name. But for this property, I want the column to be as a category name. Okay. Property name is a name. But I want to override the EF conventions. Column. Okay. What type of name you are expecting? Okay. For this column. Category name. That is description. For this also column description. Okay, right. Okay, next. By default, the primary key is treated as an identity column and its value starts with 1 automatically. Now, here, now this ID, I want to make this as a primary key. Now, how? Externally, by using a attribute called key. Okay. On above of any property, if you specified this one as a annotation, okay, this property is made as a primary key. Fine. Next one, the actual thing is for this property, okay, the value is provided by the application, not by the SQL server. How to do that? Now here, database generated option dot none, that is. So don't generate value for this ID column. That is the point. Now this is called configuration. Okay, next. One more. Here two warnings are there, right? If you observe this. String category, non-nullable property name. Just put the question mark here. Means it can be nullable. What is meant by nullable? For these properties, values can be null. Okay, means okay, just technical, right? Not domain point of view. Okay, because every product should be with name only, right? In the real world, every product should be with name. Now, just but for your better understanding, how the mapping will be happens. Now I made this name as nullable one. What does it mean? For name property, value can be null. For description property, the value can be null. Now let us build this to find the syntactical errors. No errors here, right? Now, Go back to the tools, NuGet package manager, console. Here, add hyphen migration. Okay, the old one is deleted so that you can create again first step. Okay, right. So the C sharp code is generated to create the table. Okay, by observing this code, you can understand our configuration is working. See, what is the name of the table? Category, not categories. That is the point. Okay. Next, see this ID. Okay, int, right? Category name, category description. But our property names are name and description. Okay, let us see here in the database. Now use the command update hyphen database. Right. Now go back to the database. Refresh here. Right. Expand the database. Category. Right click. Go for design. Now what is the file name here? So table name category. So the convention is overridden. Earlier it is categories. Now it is a category, which is same as our class name. Next, observe the column names. Category name is the column name. But what is the property name here? Just name. Okay. Now see, if you do not configure, okay, it takes as it is. But for this property, the column name is a category name. In your model class, it is name, but in your table, it is a category name. So in that way, this is called configuration. Remember that. If you not provide anything, it takes as it is, right? And category description. But the property name is here, just description. Okay. And for these two properties, question marks are there here, right? Go for design here. Now allow nulls. These two checkboxes are checked. Because why? For category name, you can allow null. Okay. So you made in the front end this property as nullable so that in the backend design, okay, allow null checkbox is checked. That is the point. And it means for this column, okay, you can give null as a value. Okay, a name can be null, a description can be null. Technically, it is okay, but in the real world, it is not perfect because a product should be with always name. At least a description can be null, but any product in the real world should be with name. That is. But technically, just I want to show the mapping. Okay, right. Now the most important one, ID. Select this ID and go to the properties here. Identity specification. Expand this. Now this time identity is identity equal to no. Why? Because you specified here database generated of database generate option dot none. So don't generate values for ID by the database. Okay, so you asked don't generate the value for ID property by database. So that's why the ID property is made as primary key, but it is not a identity column. It is a normal column. That is. How to prove that? Okay, this is already here. Is identity? No. But anyway, technical by entering the data, I will show you. Right click, edit. See this. Now you can enter your own value. That's okay. Huh? Now you are able to enter your own ID value, right? Earlier it is not possible. Earlier it is auto-generated 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, right? That is. So this is called configuration. Okay. Okay. So this is a minimum configuration. Just okay. You can keep your class name and table name as same. Okay, and you can change the column names for the properties. See here, whenever you not specified any table name, okay, any name for this class, what happens? According to EF conventions, when a table is created for a class, okay, a table is created for a class, the table name is class name plus S, okay, S is added to it, okay, pluralized. But according to EF convention, but we want the class name and table name to be same. So how to achieve that? See, in the class configuration, you need to add table annotation and table attribute, and you need to pass the name. Okay, right. So here category, I kept my category class name and table name as same. Right. So that what happened? I got a category as the table name. Right. Same thing you can do by overriding the EF conventions through the code also. Right now I am using annotations. Okay. Suppose, for example, here it is class name. Class name is category. I want my table name as ABCD. No problem. It creates the table name as ABCD also. No problem. Okay. So this is one technique. Okay. It's a simple one, very easy to understand. But there is another code, another technique is there where you can override the EF conventions. Okay, that is another code. Right. That code need to be written in the context class. Remember. Okay. First we are going with the model class configuration. It is minimum configuration. Okay. Clear? Next. After that, so this is a ID, name and description. Fine. After some time, okay, my requirements are changed. Now I want to add a additional property into this class, that is a status of a category, because sometimes some categories may be disabled in the application. Okay. So for that purpose, public bool, okay, is active. I'm going to create a property named as is active. Get and okay, or you can make it as status. That is also okay. Status. Okay, right. Now observe this carefully. In the model class, 1, 2, 3, 4 properties are there. But in the backend table, how many columns are there? Only 3 columns. 1, 2, 3. So in the front end, you added a new property. Now in the backend, the table is with only 3 columns. So now you need to update the front end modifications on the backend table. How? Now again, once you made the modification here, save, build. Okay. First, after making the modifications, build it to find the syntactical errors. Next, again, go to, say I'm showing every step. You get package manager, console. Again, add hyphen migration. This is second migration, right? Already we created the table. Okay. Now this is a second one. Okay. So second migration, for what purpose? You added the status property here. Okay. Now give the appropriate name for the migration. Why this migration is required right now? Because you made the modification in the category table. In the category table, you added a new property called status. That's why my migration name is also, it is second migration. And what is the activity you did? You added a status. Okay, so second add status. Just click the enter key. Now one more C# code is generated. Please observe this carefully. Public partial class second status. And what is the activity right now? See this migration builder dot add column. Which type of column? Bool type. What is the name? Status. In which table it need to be added? Category. Now the important point, bool is a C# type. Bool is a C# type. For this bool C# type, which type of SQL server type need to be selected for this status column? Bit. That is the point. Okay. So now this code need to be executed. See, one more C# file is created under migrations. See this one. First step.cs, second add status.cs. Right. Now go to tools, you get package manager, console, and here update database. Now, how it decides which C# code need to be executed? Okay, update database means it executes the migration file. But in the solution, we have two migration files, right? First step.cs and second add status.cs. So which file is executed? Which is latest that is executed? So among these two files, which is latest? Second add status is latest. So when no file is specified along with the update database command, okay, in the migration files, which is latest that is executed automatically. Okay. Now go back to the database here and refresh this database. Okay. Tables expand. Now see this here. Status column is added, right? Earlier the table is with only 3 columns. Now it is with the status column also. So this is another migration. Okay. Right. Now I want to do one thing, one more migration. Now here, this is public bool status. Okay. Can I make changes? Okay. Changes means adding of any column, removing of any column, or changing the data types also. Okay. Now this status is a bool type. Okay. In the backend also, it's selected bit. Okay. Now just do one modification here. Instead of bool, right now make it as string. Okay, right. It is a string. Now you made a modification. Okay, you changed the type of a property. You not added any new property here. Just you made the changes in the information of the, property. Now let us save. Again build. No errors. Now go to the tools. You get package manager, console. Okay. Add migration. This is third migration. So third, okay. Change status type. Okay. So add migration. Okay. Right. So it is showing some It is not error. It is like a information. Okay, you change the type. So the operation was scaffolded that may be result the loss of data. Okay, right. So if you are aware about your modifications, sir, you no need to check the, you no need to go for warnings. Okay. Now go to the view solution explorer. Observe here. Third change status type dot CS. Open this file. Already it is opened here. See this. Protected override void up migration builder. See this one. Alter column, alter command. In the SQL server, okay, create, alter, drop. Three commands are there. Alter to change the schema of the table. Now this is alter column. Alter means change. Change the column. Which column? Status column. Okay. In which table? Category. What is the type? Type is nvar of max. That is the point. Earlier type is see this one. Old type bit. Okay. So now save. Come back. Update database. See that it is updated. Now come back and right click, refresh here and tables. Now see this here status. Now it is one care of max. Earlier it is a bool, right? So to create the table, okay, to create the table, are you used any SQL language here? No, everything is by C#, right? So you created just a basic class without any configuration. That is the first example. Later you added a small configuration, right? I mean, which is very convenient to you. Okay, that is like yes, you can delete also. Suppose I want to delete the status. Okay, just delete this. Okay, save. Now again, go to the tools, package manager console, and here again add migration. This is with fourth migration. Okay, delete status. Okay, right. Now the see this one drop column, right? Drop column. What is the column name? Status. In which table? Category table, right? Update database. Come back. Refresh. Tables. Design. Clear? Yes. Okay. So this is a very simple basic flow, okay, which is very easy to understand even though you don't know the annotations. Because here the annotations are also very easy to remember, right? Category. So this tells about the table name, okay. It is class. And this table tells about table name because table easy to remember, right? This tells about the column name, right? That is okay. So a simple model class, I mean one single model class with configuration without configuration, right? This is. Now the second example, I'm going to delete everything again. Right. Delete all the migrations. Okay. Now go to the category. Right. Again, two tables with EF convention. Again, why two tables? Category contains products. Right or wrong? Category contains products. So suppose I created a category called fruits. Okay. So in that I need to store fruits data, right? I created a category called milk products. In that I need to store milk products. Now I created a category called vegetables. There I need to store vegetables, right? I created a, a category called dals and pulses. In that I need to store dals and pulses products. So where is that product table? Okay. And one more important, every product should come under one category. Right, wrong? Without category, okay, you are not allowed to create products. That is very important point. So primary table and secondary table or parent table or child table concept comes into the picture. Okay. Next, what is the relation between the category and products? Okay, under one category, there is a chance to have zero products because you created vegetables. Okay, but no vegetable is added. Then it means in that category there are no products. That is the first point. Next, in the category vegetables, you added only one product. So in that category, only one vegetable is there. Next, you added 10 vegetables under category called vegetables. Okay, so then more than one. So if you created a category, under that category there is a possibility to have zero products, one product and more than one product. So creating a table to store product information, that is one step, and you need to form the relation between the category table and product table. That is one to many relationship, because one category may have zero products or one product or more than one. That is 1 to 0 to n. That is the relationship. So the next example is so product table to store the product data. Okay. Now let us come back. Project, add class, add one more class. But where to add? Okay. Now, view solution explorer. Right click on the models, add new item, select class, product. Okay. Now what type of information we are going to store? Every product should be identified by a unique ID. Okay. So public int. This time I am going to use second convention. Product ID. In the first class, we used one convention, that is a category ID. This is an example of one convention that if any class contains a property whose name is equal to ID, that is treated as a primary key. Now in this class, I am going to use second convention, that is a class name plus ID. So public int product ID, because we need to cover all the possibilities. Okay. Right. Next, every product contains a product name. Okay. And every product maybe with some description, but right now we are not going with any description. So string quantity. Okay. Right. Next, after that, price. Yeah, string. Because one kg, one plus kg. One is numeric, kg is string. 100 ml, 1000 ml, 900 ml, like that. So number and string combination it is. Okay, that is. double price. Okay. In the real time, the quantity is generated in a different way. Remember that. Okay. But right now, the time is very limited. That's why I'm not going with the real time as it is normalization. Okay. Right. So now these four properties, okay, in a model class, there is a possibility to have more than one type of property. Okay. In a model class, there is a possibility to have more than one type of property. First property, identify the properties which stores data. Okay. So these four properties related to data. Okay. Because in the category also, these three are related to data. Category ID, category name, description. So in a model class, these three properties are used to store data. In a product class, these four properties are used to store data. That's all, right? Individually. But every product should belong to one category only. Okay. No product belongs to more than one category, right? That is. So, how to map between two classes? If you create relation between two classes, then only among the tables relation is created, right? For a class, table is created, right? So for category class, category table is created. For product class, product table is created. But how to form the relation between these two tables? That is an important point. Okay, by using primary key and foreign key concept. But it is not SQL. It is a C# class. So how to form the relation between these two classes? Okay, how? Let us see here. Now the second concept comes into the model class. In a model class, there is a possibility to have more than one type of property. The second type of properties are, they are not to store the data. Remember that. They are not to store the data. They are navigation properties. They are navigation properties. Now here, first of all, to form the relation between this product table and this product class and category class, take this public int id. Okay. To make this more, to give more clarity, okay, I'm going to add, I want to change this category id. Okay. Right. Because to give more clarity, this id is a category id. Okay. Right. Name and description common. Save. So category id. Now every product belongs to one category, right? Not more than one. Suppose you selected tur dal. Tur dal belongs to dals and pulses category. You selected beetroot. It belongs to vegetables, right? So now here, how to form between the two classes? The same technique, just like tables. Okay, that is a primary key of one table is used as foreign key in the child table. That is the concept in the RDBMS. Okay. Now, what is the primary key of category table here? I mean category class, category ID. So copy this and add it here. That is okay. Because this product belongs to one particular category. That is the point. Simple. Why category added here? Because this product belongs to one particular category. That's why you need to add primary key of other table. Okay, inside the child class or inside the other table. Okay. Now instead of tables, now we are using here classes. Fine. Next, the second concept is navigation properties. Okay, how to access the data? Okay, suppose see, I selected category. Now I want all the data, all the products data which belongs to that category. That is one point. Suppose I selected one product object. Okay, I want to know its category data. See, you access the product. Okay, I want its category information. Okay, suppose you selected category. I want the products which are inside that category. Suppose I selected vegetables. I want all the vegetables comes, okay, which are under that category, right? Suppose I have one product called beetroot. Okay, now beetroot belongs to which category? I want to know, right? If you are with category, get all the products. If you are with product, get all the, I mean, get the category information. Okay, so vice versa. Okay, they are connected. Now, how to form that relation? Okay, let us see. Now let us take this category. It is a little bit different. Yeah, you can use stored procedures also. You can call stored procedures by using a EF.core. Yes, right. See, it is a continuous process. Okay, so many options are there. Okay, we can implement. We can call stored procedure by using EF. EF. No, don't worry. Yeah, right. Now here, let us see. Now this category. Okay, this category class object contains how many products? That is one point. Under one category, there is a possibility to have 0 products, 1 product, or multiple products. So for that purpose, navigation properties. Now let us see here. Public, okay. How many products? How many products can be holded by one category? 0, 1, or more than 1. So public product, that is. So this is a list collection. Okay. One, but this is not a data property. Remember that. It is a navigation property. Okay. For this navigation properties, columns are not created in the table. That is. Only for data properties only columns are created. Okay. This is public list products. List means list of products, means collection. Okay. For one category, there is a possibility to have list of products. List means collection. In the real world also, if you select one category, okay, under that category, how many products you may have? More than one collection of products. So to represent that collection, we are going to use a collection API here. Okay, that is a list of products. Okay, next, coming to this products. If you select one product, okay, that belongs to how many categories? Only one category. So for one product object, there is a possibility to have only one category object. That is. So the public category, that is. Okay, clear. So you created navigation property, but here public category only one object, right? Only one object. Why only one object here? One product belongs to how many categories? Only one category. That's why here it is a one object. It means even though you don't know about the database or any RDBMS SQL, okay, but you can understand with the domain data. One product belongs to one category, right? Whereas one category may contain, there is a chance to have multiple products. Multiple products means here 0, 1 or more than 1. Now this is working with multiple tables with the minimum configuration. Again, here also I'm not using any too many techniques here. Okay, simplified techniques, right? So let us build this first to find the syntactical errors. Okay, except the nullable, remaining all are No errors. Okay. Now, any migration files? No. Right. In my database also, it is deleted. Right. Complete fresh application. Now, tools. You get package manager, console. Right. Add migration. It is again from the first, right? Because the old files are completely deleted. So first creation, okay? Because I am creating the tables. So add for migration. Right. It created. So now let us check the migration file. Now again see it is create table. Again it is following convention categories because we removed the table property here, right? So that's why it followed EF convention. It added, see, our class name is category. It added plural, okay, categories, right? That is, and it is going to create a category ID, okay, name and description, right? These are all. The primary key is category ID. Next, it is going to create a table called, okay, create table, name, product. Now, see this here. These are all. Please observe this. Four data properties: product ID, name, quantity, price, and category ID. What are the constraints here? It is going to create a primary key. Which property is selected as primary key? Product ID. So to select product ID, okay, it followed convention. Are you specified anything here like key or anything? No. So why how it selected the product ID as the primary key? Because class name plus ID, EF convention. Right. Next, the most important foreign key. The product ID contains a category ID. Okay, see this one. Because the products belongs to categories. So see this here. Category ID is the foreign key. But a foreign key belongs to other table where it acts as a primary key. So category ID belongs to which table? Categories. That is the point. Right. And it is creating index also. Okay. Index generally created on primary keys. Okay. Because they are useful for search operation. By default, primary keys are indexed. Indexing happens based on generally happens on primary keys. Okay. By default. Right. See this one. Category ID. Right. Now let us execute this. Update database. I will tell you just a minute. Okay. Right. Now let us come back. Refresh here. EF1. See this here. It created two tables, categories and product. Now let us design category ID, name and description. Identity specification is no. Why? Because our category is with key database generated option none. That's why it is a non-identity column. Right. Now the most important point about the product. Right click on this design. Product ID, name, quantity, price, category ID. Right. Four columns are created because we have four properties. Columns are created only for data related properties. Okay, right. Now, product ID, name, quantity, price, and category ID. Now, in this, product ID is primary key. Now, open the product. So, here it is a class product, right? For the product ID, are you specified any additional configuration here? No. So that's why what happens, again remember, if no additional configuration is specified, it becomes a identity column. So product ID is identity. Yes. Seed value is 1 and increment value is 1. So these are all the examples related to the basics completely. Remember. Next. Now what about the primary key? That is very important. See this one. Relationship. FK means foreign key underscore product underscore categories. This is already created, right? See this one. Primary key table categories, category ID, and foreign key table product, and in that category ID foreign column, right? So, are you created this primary key and foreign key relationship manually? No. So everything is created using C sharp. That is. In the front end classes, you created the relation, okay, and you used the navigation properties, right? So that it automatically identifies the relation between these two. Here, the most important key point is you should use category ID, okay, as a part of the product. That is very important. Okay, clear? Yeah. Now, I will repeat this example in a different way. Just a minute. Now, delete all the tables. Okay. Everything you should know by doing example only. Theoretically, okay, don't try to remember. Okay. Now, delete all the migrations. Okay. Now, what is the role of these navigation properties? Okay. Remove these navigation properties or comment this here and here also. Okay. Now, this class is with 3 data properties and this class is with 5 data properties. Among this, 4 are its own. What is this fifth one? Actually, this fifth one belongs to, actually this also belongs to class product, but it is not the domain data of this product. Okay. Product ID belongs to product name belongs to product. Here the product belongs to a category. So for this property, actually we are taking the data from here. Okay, right. Now we remove the navigation properties. Now let us try to create the tables without navigation properties. Okay. Then how the tables are created? Okay. Why without navigation properties, if you created, okay, without any configuration here, only you added one data property called category ID, okay, in the product, right? Otherwise, there is no relation between product and class. Actually, just you added only one property named as category ID. You are feeling that that two classes are with relation. But are you specified anything externally here? This category ID is a foreign key, or this category ID is a foreign key belongs to category class? No. Just you added one property here. That's all. Okay. But this property actually belongs to category class. That is the thing. Okay. Other than that, there is no any relation between these two classes. Right? You remove the navigation properties. I commented this. Okay. Now let us build this to find any errors. No. Right? Now I deleted the database also here. because you should know what is the role of navigation properties. Okay, at the time of migration. Okay, add migration. Again, first step. Creation. Okay, just add this. It created without any errors. But there is no navigation properties here, and there is no any additional configuration related to the relation. Okay, there is no any additional configuration related to the relation. Okay, to relate the two classes, you not specified any configuration, right? That is just you created the classes. Now create table, categories, and see, and its constraint. It is individually, it is okay, clear. Next, coming to the second one. Categories, right? Now, is there any logic here? Just a minute. Now, please check this categories. Where is the code for product? No. Why? That is very important point. First of all, first reason, there is no navigation properties. This first reason. Okay. Second reason, whenever you adds a new class, okay, into the solution, it should be entered in the DB context. That is very important. Okay. So now open the online DB context. Here, products is entered in the DB context. The DB set is created only for categories. Where is the entry of products? So when you add any new model classes, okay, they should be recognized by DB context. That is very important. Even though you added class physically, okay, and if it is not entered inside the DB context, okay, it is not for that class, the tables are not created. But earlier, how they are created? Navigation property is there. You got the point? That is the key of, that is the power of navigation property. Now, here, now you need to add public DB set products. That is. Then your context recognizes that products table also. Now let us delete migrations. Right. Now you made an entry of products table in the context. Now these two are without any navigation properties. Okay, you made an entry in the context, but yeah, it is collection products. Class name is product. Okay, and it is a products. Why products? It represents the rows data. Okay, collection of products, collection of categories. These two are the representation of collection of rows. Okay, generally. Okay, collection of objects represents collection of rows of the table. Okay, that is. So now let us build this first. Right. Now no errors. Console. Now two classes without navigation, right? Now create table categories. Now create table products. That is the point, right? Right. Someone asked why the products. It is a. I mean, the table is created as it easily. This is the reason. Okay, right. Okay. If everything I want to show practically, that is the point. So earlier you not entered in the DB context, but you have navigation property. Okay, this time you entered in the DB context, but without a navigation property. Let us see what happens. Individually, every table is created. Okay, but relation is created or not. That is the main key point here. So create table products constraints. Foreign key is created. Foreign key is there. No, that is the point. Okay, that is. So the foreign key is created based on which properties? Navigation properties. We remove the navigation properties so that just see this create table primary key only. In this also primary key. There is no code for foreign key, right? So foreign key is not there, right? Now let us see. Go to view solution explorer. Again delete these migrations. Okay. I deleted the migration. Now uncomment the navigation code, navigation properties right now. Okay. And go to the products and again uncomment this. Right. Now individual classes made an entry in the context class and that classes are with data properties plus navigation properties. Now this time apply the migration. Right. See the migration file generated. Let us check the code of migration file. Create table categories primary key. So the categories table is okay. Create table products all the data properties constraints. Now primary key and foreign key. So see, even though you don't know the technical things completely, okay, the logic completely, but just when the classes are with navigation properties, foreign key is there. When classes are without navigation properties, there is no foreign key. That is it. These are with minimum configuration. Okay, there is no any external configuration related by using data annotations or anything. Only by properties we are going to create primary keys and foreign keys with minimum configuration, right? To make some property as primary key and to make some property as a foreign key, we are not going to use any additional configuration, right? By default. So the navigation properties using when the navigation properties are there, okay, it identified the foreign key. Now let us update this. Right. Go back to the database. Refresh. EF.one. Right. Categories, products. Go for design. Main important one, foreign key. Relationships. Yes. This is the importance of navigation property. Okay. With minimum configuration, we created tables with primary key and foreign keys. Okay. It means, see, my aim is if additional additional configuration details are there, everything is created. Okay, but with the minimum configuration details, okay, we implemented this. Okay, if you by using data annotations and by using Fluent API, you can provide the information about primary key and foreign key, so many things. But by using the EF conventions and by using data properties and navigation properties, okay, you created the tables as per your requirement with the minimum code. Okay, that is not by using too heavy configurations. Okay, that is just only the configurations you used. Table name is very easy to remember. Column name, right? Table name. When you want to change the table name, table off. When you want to use the column name, column off. When you want to specify one property as a primary key, that is. Now, if you want to make that one as a non-database generated one, database generated option of database generated option dot none. That's so how to create a foreign key just by using navigation properties. Okay. Right. GUID is automatically generated by the .NET environment. Okay, that is, it is a predefined one. Right. Generally, it is used to generate the unique values. Okay, in the real-time application where you want to get. It is like a Windows ID. Okay, you can use like that. You can call like that. Okay, that is unique one. Right. So that's all for today. And tomorrow we are going to implement the same concept by using Fluent API. Okay, because today we implemented these things with minimum configurations, and tomorrow we are going to implement the same concept by using Fluent API, because data annotations and Fluent API both are almost same. Okay, with minor changes. Okay, both are used to perform same thing. Okay, you can specify the things which are specified by the data annotations by using Fluent API also, but the place differs. Data annotations are specified inside the component class, I mean inside the model class, whereas Fluent API is written inside the DB context. Okay, that's so tomorrow we'll implement the same example by using Fluent API. Okay, right. Thank you all of you. That's all for today.
Okay.